Hello everyone and welcome back to our Excel Visual Basic course. In this lecture we are going to look at loops, specifically the single loop in Visual Basic. Now we've worked with loops before in previous sections, and in this lecture we're really going to break down and review each type of loop. That way you know exactly what they all do. Loops are extremely important in programming because otherwise you cannot repeat tasks. For example, suppose I wanted to display welcome to my application and I wanted that to be in every row in A1. Well, I could do it manually, copying, pasting, Control C, Control V, but that would take a long time, especially if I had millions of users in my application. So how could I automate this to populate the values of cells for me? Well, for that I can use a loop. Let's go ahead and we're going to test out building a loop together here so that anytime this button is pressed, I can automatically populate any number of cells. Make a loop. That way I won't have to do it manually because my macro is going to do it for me. Let's open up Visual Basic here, opening up that specific macro, and get started. For every loop, we're going to have to declare an index as an integer because this index is always a whole number, and because it's an integer, and it's going to increment by 1 with each run of our loop. For example, I'll start at A1 and then I will increase my index to 2 and I'll go to A2. Then I'll go to A3 and I'll perform the same action each time via a loop. To open up a single loop, I'll use the for keyword, and then in the header for the loop, I'm going to place the condition that must be true for the loop to run. The loop will run one time for each check. I'll start at index equals 1. This means I'm initializing my index variable to equal 1, and then I can use the to keyword to state the ending point. For example, if I want to populate 100 different rows in the A column, then I can loop from index 1 to 100. And typically, whenever you open up a loop, you should close it immediately as well. You can close a loop using the next keyword, followed by whatever you're using as your incrementer. You can call index anything like index or I, or even something else more specific. Index is a common name. And what this is going to do, the next keyword, is it's going to jump to the next index, which means it will increase our index by 1 because it is an integer. And for each time the index loops, it's going to increment the index by 1 at the end of one loop. What do I want to do inside of the loop? Well, I want to perform one action over and over again. For example, I can get the cells at the current index row and at the column 2, let's say. And I can populate its value with welcome to my application. This means I am going to go through every row from 1 to 100, and at the column 2, which is the B column, for every row in the B column from 1 to 100, I'm going to assign the value to equal welcome to my application. And just like that, we have built out a single loop. There is nothing further you need. You have your header, which states the condition that must be true for the loop to keep running. And after each loop, the next keyword is going to increase the index by 1. That way we don't result in an infinite loop. An infinite loop is where the condition will be true forever. For example, if we didn't increase the index would always be 1, which means that the loop would run forever. Infinite loops are something you want to avoid because they will crash your application. But this loop is non-infinite. It starts at 1, it increments after each loop, after each line has been run once inside the body, and it ends when the index has reached 100. Let's test this out. We can close up Visual Basic and we can click on the button. And look at this. We'll just move the button over, and in B, which was column 2 from row 100 up to our ending condition, we have being printed out, welcome to my application. Can you remember what the ending condition was? Where do you think the welcome to my application will end? Well, you'll remember we looped from index 1 to 100. That means that once we reach row 100, the loop will end, which is why we don't see the line being printed after row 100. Congratulations everyone, you just learned how to build out your first single loop in Visual Basic. In the next lecture, we're going to keep exploring loops. We're going to look at how to use the double loop. Similar to the single loop, can you guess what a double loop is? Take a guess before I see you in the next lecture.